La 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 ya la 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 Olam chesed yibaneh, Olam chesed yibaneh, ya la 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 la, Olam chesed yibaneh, ya la 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 la, Olam chesed yibaneh. La 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 Olam chesed yibaneh Ya la 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 I will build this world from love Da 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 And you must build this world from love. Da 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 da. And if we build this world from love, da 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 da, then God will build this world from love. La 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 la. Olam chesed yibaneh, da 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 da. Olam chesed yibaneh, da 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 da. Olam chesed yibaneh, da 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 da. Olam chesed yibaneh, la 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 da 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 da. Olam chesed yibaneh, da 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 da. Olam chesed yibaneh, da 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 da. I will build this world from love. da 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 da. And you must build this world from love, da 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 da. And if we build this world from love, da 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 da, then God will build this world from love, da 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 da. Lie, lie, la 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 la. Lie, lie, la 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 la. Lie, la 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Please join me. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. La 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 la. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Ya la 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 la. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. La 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 la. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. La 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 la. I somehow believe that if we open our prayers with these words, Olam Chesed Yibaneh, that somehow there will be kindness, there will be chesed, there will be love and justice in this world. I will build this world from love, da 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 da. And you must build this world from love, da 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 da. And if we build this world from love, da 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 da, then God will build this world from love, da 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 da. Last time. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, da 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 da. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, da 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 da. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, da 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 da. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, da 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 da. Shabbat Shalom. I am so grateful that you're here. It was such a devastating day, and all I kept thinking today was, I will land this evening with my congregation. For those who are joining us virtually, for those who are here in person, for those that we are missing, I ask that you just take a few breaths and acknowledge what this day was, what this month has been. And trust that Shabbat sharpens our values, our integrity, our courage, our sense of the sacred and how we reach for the sacred. I trust that the divine is here. I trust that the divine is guiding us. Turning together to page 129. I am called by my beloved as my beloved calls to me. Dodi li va'ani lo haro'eh bashoshanim. Dodi li va'ani lo haro'eh bashoshanim. Mihizot ola min hamidbar, mihizot ola, mihizot ola min hamidbar, mihizot ola. Dodi li va'ani lo haro'eh bashoshanim. Dodi li va'ani lo haro'eh bashoshanim. Mikuteret mor ulivona, mor ulivona. Mikuteret mor ulivona, mor ulivona. Dodi li va'ani lo haro'eh bashoshanim. Dodi li va'ani lo haro'eh bashoshanim. 120. 121, Martin Buber teaches, help me to perfect my ways. Inspire me to make myself whole. Inspire me to make the next person whole, so that I may honor your name and create a world of justice and of peace. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. So you wonder why on the summer months we only do Friday night services. We don't do Friday night and Saturday morning. For those who are here in the sanctuary, look around and you'll know exactly why. I'm going to ask for you to just turn and greet someone you didn't come in with. Our neighbors are joining us this evening. And yes, and we are thrilled. They had to walk all the way here from next door. And just take a moment and just reach out to somebody, say hello, remind them your names, and we will settle in together, lifting our spirits, allowing this to be a place of comfort. 142. My teacher, Rabbi Larry Kushner, teaches, and so we understand that ordinary people can be messengers of the Most High. They go about their tasks in holy anonymity, often even unknown to themselves. Yet if they had not been there, if they had not said what they said or did what they did, we would not be who we are today. It would not be the way it is today. Never forget that you too yourself may be a messenger of the divine. Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malchei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bachuni l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shuvchem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Turning back to page 138 and 139, notwithstanding my heart being in the gutter today, the Sabbath invites us, requires us, asks us to lead with a sense of joy. Lecha Dodi, paragraphs 1 and 2, 5 and 9, 138 and 139. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, Hishmi anu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad, Ushmo echad, L'shem u'tiferet, B'litchila lecha lecha dodi, Likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, Likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, Ki hi mekor habracha, Merosh mikedem nesucha, Sof ma'aseh v'machsheva, Techila lecha dodi, Likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, Likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. Paragraph 5. Hitoreri, Kiva orech kumi uri, shir daberi, Kevod Adonai, alayich nigila lecha dodi, Likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, Likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. Paragraph 9. As you are able, we stand. Boi v'shalom, ateret ba'ala, gam b'simcha u'v'sohala, toch emunei am segula. Boi kala, lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, P'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, P'nei Shabbat nikabela. I think to myself that perhaps we always have a learner's minyan. Why in the 9th paragraph, when we are greeting the Sabbath bride, do we stand and face the entrance to the sanctuary? It is the Jewish value of always seeing the other. When we face the entrance to the sanctuary, we welcome others in. When we face the entrance to the sanctuary, we are willing to see the person who has not yet joined our community, the person who is perhaps a little bit different than us, the person who has needs that might be different than ours. That is the Jewish value. 144. Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabba Amen. Ve'alma divrach iruhute, ve'yamlich malchute, b'chayechon uvyomechon uvchayetecho beit Yisrael. Ba'agala uvizman kariv v'immeru. Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba Mevorach Le'olam Ul'almei Omaya Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpar V'yitramam V'yitnasei V'yitadar V'yitaleh V'yitalal Shmei Dekudesha Berichu Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata dahamihiran be'alma v'immeru. Amen. 147. There is one who sings the song of their own life, finding everything within themselves. There is one who leaves the circle of themselves and sings the song of their people. There is one whose voice rings with the song of humanity, hoping for the highest perfection. And there is one who rises even higher, uniting with all creatures, with all worlds, filling the universe with song. Nivarech. As we face east, we call one another into formal worship. Page 146. La 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 Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamevorach Baruch Adonai Hamevorach Hamevorach Le'olam le'olam va'ed. 148. Allowing the universe to heal us, allowing the universe to enliven us, awaken us to knowing, to discernment, to gratitude, to beauty. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. La 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 la. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim ma'ariv arahavim bechokma poteach she'arim ובתבונה משנה עתים, ומחליף את הזמנים, ומסדר את הכוכבים במשמרותיהם, ברקיע כרצונו. יאללה לי 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 לי, יאללה לי 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 לי. La 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 ya la 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 la. Borei yom v'layla kolel or mipnei choshech v'choshech mipnei or umavir yom umevi layla umavdil ben yom uven layla Adonai tevaot shemo el chai v'kayam תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב ערבים. 151. Together, as you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me? Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael. As you are able, please rise. 152. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. 154. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadavarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta baham b'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'aderech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha uchtavtaham al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha Adonai Elohechem emet. 157 Birkat Geula. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. 158. The words of Miriam and Moshe, the words of Bnei Yisrael, become our words this evening, a prayer of redemption, a prayer of healing, a prayer of hope. Yai lai lai la lai la 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 lai 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 la 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 lai lai la lai 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 la la lai lai la lai lai la 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 lai lai. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh, Nora tehilot Hosei fele, Nora tehilot Hosei fele. Malchutecha ra'u v'hanecha, Bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam. Ze Eli anu ve'amru, Ze Eli anu ve'amru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. ונאמר כיפת אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. 160. The third line in the Hebrew, in the transliteration, asking for divine shelter, divine protection, divine presence. Ufros aleinu sukkot, sukkot shlomecha. Ufros aleinu sukkot, sukkot shlomecha. Yalai lalai, yalai lalai, yalai lalai lalai lai, lalai lalai, yalai lalai, yalai lalai lalai, yalai lalai, yalai lalai, yalai lalai lalai lai, lalai lalai, lalai lalai, lalai lalai lalai. Ufros aleinu sukkot, sukkot shlomecha. 162. Achad Ha'am teaches it's not the Jews that keep Shabbat. It's Shabbat that keeps the Jews. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat Lasot et ha-Shabbat L'dorotam berit olam Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael Oti le'olam Oti le'olam Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat Lasot et ha-Shabbat L'dorotam berit olam Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat Lasot et ha-Shabbat L'dorotam berit olam Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat Lasot et ha-Shabbat L'dorotam berit olam. Holding a place of holiness, a place of prayer, a place of spaciousness, kol hanshama, tehalel Yah, with all of my breath, my nishima. With all of my soul, my nishama, I step into this place of prayer, of hallel, of praise. Kol neshama Hallelujah. As you are able, standing together, page 164, opening Tfilat Amidah as a community, and then each of us moving into lachash, into silence, until we reach page 180, until we reach the unwritten prayer in our hearts, the prayer we offer on this Shabbat. When you've completed your prayers, work your way back to your seats. Adonai, sifatai tiftach, urufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Ya la lai lai lai, la la lai lai lai. La la lai lai lai, la la lai lai lai, ya la lai lai lai, la la lai lai lai, ya la lai lai lai, la la lai lai lai. Let me have peace. Let me be healed. Let me be whole. Shalom. 180. Shalom bimroma, Uya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, amen. Oseh shalom bimroma, Uya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. I ask tonight that we bring our prayers of healing to these members of our community, Arnie Zippel, Susan Bosch, Yisrael Aga, Amelia Byers, Audrey Cohn, Angela DeMare, Phyllis Fillmore, Rachel Fleischauer, Ellie Edelwitz, Ilona Johnson, Mary Lestrange, Ken Lyjak, Karen Martinez, Alicia Okram, Merle Perlmutter, Claude Schleuderer, Elaine Trott, Paul Tubin, Bev Ushko, Lauren Petties. If you are holding other loved ones in your heart, when my eyes meet yours, please share those names. 371. Mi sheberach avoteinu mekor habracha le'imotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Sheberach imotenu mekor habracha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. I am, if you ever doubt me, I am incredibly grateful that you are here. We may be the only congregation in America that made our minyan and then lost 2 people. But I know. We're counting them, and we're counting you who are here with us virtually. Although I will tell you, and I shared it with Barry when I came in, after a day like today, I actually, in my eternal optimism, or in my innocence, I actually imagine I'm going to walk into Congregation Emmanuel and 400 people are going to be here, because I say to myself, where else would I go after a day like today? So I'm going to just speak to you tonight. And for those of you who know me, maybe I'm not saying anything new, but maybe I am. And maybe we need to hear it again so we know what to do with it. I can only speak for myself today, and I can say that I am devastated. That I'm actually heartbroken. And I'm frightened. And I'm shaken, and I'm saddened to my core. And if you want to know why I'm devastated because my children and my grandchildren, because your children and your grandchildren are going to have fewer rights, fewer human rights, fewer civil rights, fewer privacy rights, less autonomy over their bodies and their choices than I had in my reproductive years, than we had. If that doesn't devastate you, then you and I need to set up a one-on-one appointment. 50 years ago, I was a teenager. I was just becoming aware of myself as a woman, as an actualized person. I was a young teenager, and I believed when the Supreme Court voted on Roe v. Wade, I believed that my country saw me. I believed that I was seen by my country, that my country acknowledged that I had fundamental values as a person, as a woman, that my life had value, that my reproductive choices were just that, my reproductive choices. And as I've spoken from this bima, I trusted that. I benefited from that in my own life. Now, I'm a rabbi. I'm not a politician. I'm going to teach you Torah tonight, because that's the only thing I know how to do. Our parasha this week is Shlach Lecha. Shlach Lecha. Now, there's so many things I can say about it, but let me just orient you. Shlach Lecha is the story about Moses sending the Anashim, Vayaturu, the Anashim, to scout out, to survey the land that had been promised to Bnei Yisrael. 12 men. 12 men were sent to the promised land to determine what could and what would be our future. You wonder what that relevance of our parasha is tonight. 12 men who will determine what our future would be when we stood in the Sinai desert. 12 men sent to the promised land to determine our future. And that happened today. But I'm a rabbi, so let me teach Torah. You know the story, and you think I'm misunderstanding it because it's usually told about the spies. The spies that were sent into the promised land. What's wrong with Rabbi Yael? Doesn't she know that the spies were sent into the promised land? But that's not what it says. It says, Anashim, men, human beings, people, vayaturu, and not to spy. It's interesting because we have two words in the Bible, in the Torah, for spies. It's lachpor and liragel. Lachpor and liragel is actually the Hebrew word to spy. But nowhere in this portion is that phrase used. So you're not as excited as I am, but let me tell you the difference about the word that's used. Vayaturu. Send out the men, the anashim, to do this latur. Vayaturu. Latur means seek out the good. That's what it means. We actually get the word tayar, tourist, from latur. You go someplace not to have a terrible time. You make choices not to suffer. You make choices to better your life. You make choices to seek out the good. But lachpor and liragel, the two words for spy that was not used here today in our portion, they are about discovering what one's weakness is, what one's vulnerabilities are. Rabbi Jonathan Sachs, of blessed memory, from the UK, speaks about this at length. The 12 men, he says, were not sent out to find vulnerability. They were not sent out to find weakness. They were sent out to lay the path, to blaze the way for a real future. That's what the Supreme Court is supposed to do for us. Not find our weaknesses and our vulnerabilities, not trick us, but to be faithful to their mission of Latour, to explore and to report on the good things so that the land can sustain the people and the people can be sustained in the land. And you know, in our Torah portion, only 2 of the 12 men were able to see the goodness. What's amazing about this, and why I so push, don't read spies, is because when we say spies, we're like, oh yeah, they were out to get us. But who were these spies, my friends? Who were these anashim? Who were these 12 men that were sent out? They were the leaders of our people. They were the heads of the tribes. They were the most recognized people in all of Bnei Yisrael. They weren't just some schlub that was sent out. Today's portion is about leadership. And I feel that we have been failed. I feel that I have been failed, and my children and my grandchildren have been failed. And I will not fail you. I will speak truth to power here, and I will make us look at this through the eyes of the Torah. What is the role of leaders? It's to be honest, to be truthful, to help us pave the way for a better life. It's not about doing what keeps you in power. It's not about the politics. It's about what's best for the people. Who should know what's best for the people than the people themselves? 80% of Americans, actually, that's a low estimate. Some say 90%, some say upwards of 90%. 93% of Americans, when polled, did not believe that it was in their best interest for Roe v. Wade to be overturned. This is the first time in history that constitutional law that moved us forward, that moved people forward with their own reproductive rights and agencies. It's the first time that law that has been settled law has been overturned. And there's something else that defies understanding for me. Brett Kavanaugh, Amy Coney Barrett, Neil Gorsuch. I watched their affirmation hearings and they vowed, they promised that they were not going to overturn settled law. They said that Roe v. Wade was settled law and they would not be overturning it. I'm calling them out by name because in this country, we've established a lifetime appointment for the Supreme Court. And 3 of the justices in the last 2 years bold-faced lied to me and to the American public. They said they wouldn't overturn settled law, and they have overturned settled law today. The Women's Rabbinic Network, the American body of women's rabbis, say that abortion care is health care. The Women's Rabbinic Network says that forcing someone to carry a pregnancy that they do not choose violates Jewish law. I'm going to tell you settled Jewish law. Settled Jewish law says that a woman's welfare overrides the welfare of an unborn umbar, an unborn pregnancy. That an umbar, a pregnancy, does not have independent rights unless and until they can independently exist. That a pregnancy is part of the person who is carrying that pregnancy. I need to teach you one more passage from today's parashah. In chapter 13:31, Numbers 13, verse 31, we hear this: Lo nuchal la'alot el ha'am ki chazak hu mimenu. The spies go in, the spies come out. The leaders go in, the leaders come out. And 10 of the 12 say, you know, it is a land of milk and honey. It's everything we were promised, but we are not going to be able to go up against them. Mimenu. They're too strong. Chazak mimenu. They're too strong for us. Rashi says that's the pshat. They're too strong for us. Mimenu. Mem, nun, vav. But the Ramban says, don't read mimenu. Mem, nun, vav. Read mimeno. Mem, nun, vav. The same 4 letters. We will not be able to go up. The nation will not be able to go up against them because he is too strong for us. He is too strong for us. Traditionally, the rabbis read he meaning HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the source. But it's perplexing because the source is the one who promised us that we would be fine. But this moment of incredible doubt of the people, this moment that I will address tomorrow in our Torah study, I'm going to suggest tonight, don't read mimenu from us. Don't read mimeno from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Read mimeno from him. Enough is enough. We need to speak truth to power. It is not acceptable that those primarily old white men, that those primarily Christian fundamentalists, radical Christians, will take their own theology and impose it on me. I read a statistic today that there are 80 million eligible voters that don't vote. 80 million eligible voters that don't vote. If those 80 million eligible voters voted, then he would not be too strong for us. You think it's only about people who are able to reproduce. It is about every person. It is about every woman and every man and every person. Justice Clarence Thomas pulled the veil back from our complacency when he suggested that today overturning Roe v. Wade lays the groundwork to challenge all of the precedents, including Griswold, Lawrence, and Obergefell, meaning challenge our right to use contraception in the United States of America in 2022. It means challenge the right of a person to be intimate with a person of their same gender. It means challenge the right of the LGBTQ community for each of us to marry the people that we love. It means to consider overturning the lives of thousands upon thousands of families who have married, brought children into the world, and created a life choice that doesn't align with Justice Clarence Thomas, Brett Kavanaugh, Amy Coney Barrett, and Neil Gorsuch. Shlach Lecha is a riveting invitation to examine how we go forward into the future. Like always, there are obstacles in front of us. And today we were reminded of some very big obstacles. But what has to also be understood is that we believe that every human being is created in the image of the divine. Not just people who believe what Amy Coney Barrett believes or Brett Kavanaugh, but people who believe what I believe. People who don't choose the same Christian doctrine that Neil Gorsuch does. Going forward means that in this America, we believe that all people are created equal in the image of God, that all individuals have the right to freedom, to liberty, to justice, have the right to practice their own faith. I get to practice my faith. I don't have to practice the faith of Amy Coney Barrett, or do I? Meeting the obstacles today doesn't say I believe in abortion or I don't believe in abortion. It says that if you don't believe in abortion, you don't have to have an abortion. But if you do believe in abortion, then that is your choice. The inherent value and rights for an individual to have reproductive agency over their own bodies, to have reproductive choices, and to be able to choose who we love and how we love them. Today I am devastated. And I'm asking for my congregation to wake up and for each of us to take our part, to move from complacency to a clarion call of action, from cowardice to courage, from quietness to the faith that says, I have value. The people in my congregation have value, whether they are LGBTQ, whether they are interfaith marriages, whether they are interracial marriages. To believe and to build a world where my children and yours, where my grandchildren and yours will not just have equal rights to the ones that I've had, but will have more and more autonomy to be exactly who they are as we lift our voices as Jews, as Americans, to make this a more perfect union. Tomorrow morning, the Minyan begins at 10 a.m. I just do want to share with you that tomorrow is our final Saturday morning before our July and August break. During July and August, we will be meeting every Friday night at 6 p.m., but we will not be meeting on Saturday mornings until September. I hope that it will be packed tomorrow morning. Again, a gentle reminder that the congregation, that the board has adopted a trial of 1 year from this point forward, starting next Friday. All of our Friday night services for the entire year will be at 6 p.m. so that we can have a service from 6 to 7 or 7:15. And then people can go and have a Shabbat meal. There will be, I understand, if the board arranges it, a meet and greet from 5:30 to 6. Hors d'oeuvres for those of you coming from work. Just drop here, have a healthy snack, sit for services, and go on for your Shabbat celebration. Next Friday is Tat Shabbat. We will be out in the backyard. Our planters came, or they're going to be coming on Monday. I'm going to be planting. If you have nothing to do, you can show up on Tuesday and plant with me. Call me, and I'll tell you exactly when they're here. So that we're trying to beautify with the gift of 2 families, beautify the area when we're praying in the back so that it really feels holy to us. You may have noticed the Sisterhood's annual fundraiser has begun. What a beautiful way to prepare for the holidays, but also to sustain this congregation. I hope that everybody will participate. Zemer July meetups, 6 p.m. Monday, July 11th, 6 p.m. Monday, July 18th. We are preparing Zemer to be part of a special interfaith fundraiser, Ukrainian benefit, a musical extravaganza at St. John's Episcopal Church. I will be participating. Our Zemer will be participating. God help us. The crisis, the humanitarian crisis, the slaughter in Ukraine continues. Let's do our part to be present, to wake up, to respond. Movies with Spirit, Saturday, July 16th. Tisha B'Av, August 6th. And Elul, blowing of the shofar, begins in September. I want to remind you that all of our activities are planned for the year. They can all be found online. The Israel trip is now forming for June 29th, 2023. We have room for everyone. Our itinerary is now available through Alexa Markovitz, and we are still tweaking it, but you can really see what it's going to look like. We hope that you will all join us. For these and all of our announcements, please go to our website or speak to me. Speak to me. 658. 658. This is one of my most beloved songs because it says, "Don't say the day will come, bring the day. It does not need to be a dream." That's what I say about agency over one's body in America in 2022. That's what I say about a real place for Jews in America, for all faiths in America. That's what I say for the recognition of all people, however they love, however they identify, however they express their faith. תנו לשמש לעלות, לבוקר להאיר, הזעקה שבתפילות אותנו לא תחזיר. מי אשר כבה נרו ובעפר נטמן, בחימר לא יאירו, לא יחזירו לכאן. איש אותנו לא ישיב, מבור תחתית אפל כאן לא יועילו, לא שמחת הניצחון ולא שירי הלל. לכן רק שירו שיר לשלום, אל תלחשו תפילה, מוטב תשירו שיר לשלום בצעקה גדולה. תנו לשמש לחדור מבעד לפרחים, אל תביטו לאחור, הניחו להולכים. שאו עיניים בתקווה, לא דרך הבנות, שירו שיר לאהבה ולא למלחמות. אל תגידו יום יבוא, הביאו את היום, כי לא חלום הוא ובכל הכיכרות הבריאות לשלום. That puts me back in Israel when I get to sing that, and that is very special and powerful for me. I hope you can enjoy it and learn to love it as I do. Ma yafe hayom, Shabbat shalom. Ma yafe hayom, Shabbat shalom. Vayehi erev vayehi voker yom hashishi. Vayechulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tziva'am. Vayechol Elohim bayom hashvi'i melachto asher asaha. Vayishpot bayom hashvi'i mikol melachto asher asaha. Vayivarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i vayikadesh oto. Kivo Shabbat mikol melachto asher bara Elohim lasot tzavri. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Borei pari hagafen, amen. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu. V'shabbat kohodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu. Zikaron lema'aseh v'reheshit. Ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh. Zecher liyitziat mitzrayim. Kivanu v'charta ve'otanu kidashta im kol ha'amim v'shabbat kodechecha ve'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch ata Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. Amen. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to the source above. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Shabbat shalom.